So when I was in Korea and we were in Seoul, in Incheon, we had something called Hoddeok. When my friends first said it, I'm like, hot dog? Why do I want to eat a hot dog in Korea? But it's actually this pancake thing that's got like cinnamon and sugar in the middle. It's molten hot and really good. And we ended up having it again when we were in Jeonju. Well, I liked it so much, I searched on the internet for hours on end trying to find recipes. And I found a few different ones that were all the same, so we're going to make it today. So over there on the stove is a half a cup of water and a half a tablespoon of yeast and a half a tablespoon of sugar, activating the yeast. And now we are going to sift 3 cups of all-purpose flour into said bowl. So this is actually really funny because I don't normally sift my flour. Yay, sifting flour. But I think that this Huddeok, or Korean pancake, really was really good for me because they don't have a lot of sweet things in Korea, and I am very traditionally American, and sugar is in everything I eat because I like sugar. So the pancake was the first sweet thing we had eaten when we were in Korea. So it was like, that made it like infinitely better. So that's one reason why I really, really wanted to try it. There's a couple other things that we're going to try in the future, such as beef and octopus stew that my fiance fell in love with. Although I don't think that I will have the octopus live, like what it was when it came out to us, which was very, very interesting. So here's the 3rd cup. Third cup of all-purpose flour. All sifted. Alright. There is said flour. So the yeast mixture should be sitting for about 5 minutes, and then once it's done, we'll add 1 cup of milk to this along with that yeast mixture and salt. Yeast mixture is now done. Smells yeasty. So you're going to pour this in here with a half a tablespoon of salt. And 1 cup of milk. So just so you guys know, this is actually the very first time that I've ever made this. I've watched the videos, I've read the directions, but I haven't actually made it, so it's an experiment for us. So the recipe says put flour in your hands because the dough will be very sticky, as we can see already. Yay, stickiness. How she keeps her hands so clean in the video, I have no idea. Because I am doing exactly what she did, and it is not... my hands are not staying clean. So after you get the ball of dough into something that's not so sticky, it sort of looks kind of like that. And then you put plastic wrap over it. Now her directions say to put it in the oven and leave it in there for 3 minutes with just the light on. 3 hours, excuse me, 3 hours. You understood that. Unfortunately, the light in my oven doesn't work. So what I did earlier today is I turned it on to warm and heated the oven up and then turned it off. And it's been sitting there for about 2 hours now. So it shouldn't be as warm as it was for warming. We're gonna try that. So, here we go. In the oven, 3 hours later, it should be double size. So, that's the goal. So now I'm gonna make the filling for the Huddeok. You need a 1/4 cup brown sugar, or 1/4 cup of regular sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and a 1.5 teaspoons of peanuts. But I don't actually have regular peanuts, I only have honey roasted peanuts. So we're gonna try it. It says to beat the peanuts into a pulverization with a blunt object such as the back of a knife. Well, I don't really like using my knives to beat things. So I'm gonna use the back of a metal measuring cup. And we smash it until it's pulverized. Pulverization is oh so much fun. Beating up things. Here. Pulverized enough, wouldn't you say? So 1.5 tablespoons of pulverized peanuts. Smells like peanuts. Alright. 1/2 tablespoon of cinnamon. That's more than half. Alright. 1/4 cup of sugar, right? Yes. 1/4 cup of white sugar and 1/4 cup of brown sugar. It's really funny, this is supposed to be light brown sugar, but it's actually quite dark. That's just what the bag says. The recipe doesn't say specifically. And then mix together with a spoon. It smells amazing. Alright, so we now have the filling. And the bread portion should be pretty much done. So let's take it out of the oven. It has now doubled in size, if you cannot see, and smells of bread. Now we'll wash our hands again. She says to use oil when working with the dough so it doesn't stick to your hands. She doesn't specify what kind of oil, so olive oil it is. Yay, sticky. Alright, so take a golf ball sized piece of dough, roll it out, and flatten it. And a spoonful of the filling. And then she does this really cool, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this very well, but to seal it up, smooth it out, and then voila! We make a bunch of those and then we'll fry them. So I've made a few to start with. We're going to test batch these. You put them into a preheated pan with oil in it, and you leave them on one side for about 10 seconds, and then you flip them and then smash them so they're nice and flat. And then you cook them until they're golden brown. So we have a couple here. My stove is uneven, hence why all the oil is on one side. In the middle. Ew, don't stick. Smash.
Social commentary allowed?
Social commentary is always allowed.
I think you might have a little too much oil in the pan.
Probably.
Because they look like they're going to be...
Well, in Korea, they were like actually like almost deep frying them like donuts.
So then maybe not. Well, deep frying too, though, it's not exactly... You kind of end up draining the oil anyways.
Yeah.
So who knows? Careful, you don't want the filling to go sploosh. You might want to leave them on.
Yeah, I'm just going to flip them over again, back to the other side, and then we'll start browning them.
Goldening them.
Goldening them, because now it looks like they're cooked. Now the ones that we had in Korea were like this big, so I'm assuming the golf ball size is not actually the size that they used, but...
Or they're just better at flattening them.
No, they were about this thick, too. So, I don't know.
Stop playing with them.
I shall play with them as much as I want. Mwahaha.
She is gone on a power trip.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
world beware.
Ooh, I smell sugar.
I'd hope so. Brown sugar. All melty and gooey and delicious.
So, for my friend Huddeok, who doesn't like sweets, I really appreciate you showing me this and buying some for me when we were in Korea, because now I'm super excited. Golden brown. Number 1.
On both sides?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The one side of the pan gets hotter than the other, because my thing leans. That's why.
Half the reason I hate electric stoves.
I know, electric stoves really suck, but
What you gonna do? Look at that deliciousness. Don't you just want to eat it?
Guess what? We
We
to.
get
That
to.
one's moving. It's like it's got a mind of its own.
As if pancakes weren't bad enough for you, we now fill them with sugar.
Now, the big thing is, you want to let them cool just a titch. As I did not heed my friend Gyuk's warning that the inside will be really, really hot. I burned my tongue when I ate them in Korea. So we'll let them cool for just a minute and then we will devour them.
I think I'll take a glass of milk with that.
I have brought said fiance, who ate it with me, to test drive it. So here we go.
That's good.
Really? I like it. I am now going to pass one to the camera lady so that we can see her reaction of the deliciousness that is
Oh, and the camera's being stolen.
said gooiness.
Hi. Okay, that's so hot. I actually think they could cook a little more. Seem a little doughy. But the cinnamon and brown sugar, so you can't really go wrong.
So there you have it. First attempt at Huddeok, and it turned out pretty well. I still have over half the batch to go, so we will have numminess for a few days.